Hey guys, welcome back to another video of the Bible Teller. Today I'm going to be reading Genesis chapter 3, verse 1 through verse 24. And from now on, I'm going to be uploading one video every 4 to 5 days. That's going to be my schedule, because the other days in between, I'm usually busy with like homework and church stuff that I'm involved in. Alright, so what we're going to be reading on is the temptation and fall of man, when Adam and Eve get tempted by the serpent, which is the devil. Okay. Now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, Has God indeed said, You shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, You shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, or else you will die. Then the serpent said to the woman, You will not surely die, for God knows that in the day you eat it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desirable to make one wise, she took off its fruit and ate of it. She also gave it to her husband with her, and he ate. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves coverings. So what that means is that they ate the fruit, which is around a fig tree, because that's where it says they sowed a fig tree, or the tree of knowledge of good and evil could be a fig tree. But there's really not knowing for right now. So the serpent tempted Eve, and then Eve told Adam to eat it, because sin. Right. And they heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. Then the Lord God called to Adam and said to him, Where are you? So he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And God said, Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the fruit of which I commanded you that you should not eat? Then the man said, The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I ate. And the Lord God said to the woman, What is this you have done? And the woman said, The serpent deceived me, and I ate. So the Lord God said to the serpent, Because you have done this, you are cursed more than all cattle, and more than every beast of the field. On your belly you shall go, and you shall eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. To the woman he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and conception. In pain you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. Then he said to Adam, Because you have heeded the voice of your wife, and have eaten from the tree of which I commanded you, saying, You shall not eat of it, cursed is the ground for your sake, and toil you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth to you, and you shall eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of your face you shall eat bread till you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you shall return. And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Also for Adam and his wife the Lord God made tunics of skin and clothed them. Then the Lord God said, Behold, the man has become like one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put out his hand and take also the tree of life and eat, and live forever. Therefore the Lord God sent them out of the garden of Eden to till the ground from which he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed cherubim at the east of the garden of Eden, and a flaming sword which turned every way to guard the way to the tree of life. Okay, that's the end of the chapter. I'm going to recap it if you didn't really understand it. There is a tree in the middle of the Garden of Eden God said not to eat, and the devil took shape as a snake, and he tempted Eve, and then Eve gave it to Adam to eat. So then they hid themselves from God because they knew they were naked, and then God said, What have you done? Adam blamed Eve, and Eve blamed the devil. So now the snake, what it means by you shall eat dust for the rest of your life, it means that they'll be on the ground. because originally they were built like lizards, like big lizards with legs. But nowadays snakes don't have legs. They're just slithering reptiles. But back then they had like claws and legs everywhere. So that's what that means. And they couldn't go back into the Garden of Eden because there is a angel guarding it with a flaming sword. And that's the end of chapter 3. Now the next one I'll upload in 5 or 4 days from now. Okay, bye guys. See you next video.